Okay, two things. Evelyn, why would you think anybody would defend your name in a room that you're not in when you don't do the same for others? And secondly, Chantel, why are you here?
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I'm Asia Esterak. Basketball Wives, Season 12, Episode 5. Okay, so we're still in Vegas. The ladies are still at the house. We literally pick up where we left off last time with Jackie and Evelyn sitting at the table talking about Jennifer would be crazy to show up. So the doorbell rings, knock at the door. So you think it's going to be Jennifer. It turns out to be a magician. So this magician comes in, he does a couple tricks, and he does this final trick where he basically makes somebody appear from under this blanket. Turns out to be Shaunie O'Neal. Yay. So Shaunie's there, all the girls are happy. Of course Evelyn is, because that's her only like true homie in the house or whatever. So they're in there recapping Shaunie on everything. Meanwhile, Jennifer pulls up outside. Jackie and Brandi go out there to talk to her. She doesn't come in. Basically, happy to see them. They end up seeing if it's okay if Ming can bring Ty. She says, all right. They tell her that Shaunie's there. And they were like, can Shaunie come to the wedding? And she's like, if she wants to. Jennifer, you better than me. You better than me. So anyway, we go back into the house, and Shaunie, who's there to stir shit. I don't like Shaunie O'Neal. I'm sorry. The fact that she's cool with Evelyn and co-sign on the racist, colorist shit, bitch, fuck you. You're a pick-me, and you're a problem. But anyway, so they come back in, and Shaunie's like, well, why didn't Jennifer come in? Like, why? What were you going to do if she did come in? What, silently ridicule her? Because we know that you're not about that life. So what were you gonna do? Your shitty little friend wasn't gonna do shit either, but yell. These women haven't evolved at all. It's amazing to me. Amazing. So anyway, there's a little static with Brandi. They all keep coming for Brandi. I find it weird. Maybe there was more that happened off camera that we, the viewers, didn't see, but some of this energy to her is, I don't think it's not merited. I don't think it's merited. Anyway, so the next day, everyone's getting ready to go to their prospective places. Brandi, Ming, Ty, and Jackie are all going to Jennifer's wedding. The rest of the ladies are going to this like demolition park thing. So Chantel, we find out, didn't sleep at the house that night. She comes back in the morning and she's talking to her mom. So she's talking about the issue with Brandi, and I didn't like the energy, and I just wanted to go home and have a reset. Girl, you on a reality show. Where did you think you were? So I'm assuming you live in Vegas because you said you went home to be with your kids. So she must live in Las Vegas. You went home over a minor disagreement. If you went home over that little bit that we saw, girl, you're going to have an uphill battle, child. Uphill battle. So she's basically like, I don't like the energy with Brandi. I don't like the way she spoke to me. The sweetheart this and sweetheart that. Okay, so I went back to last week's episode to make sure I wasn't tripping. Chantel, you called her sweetheart first, honey. You said it real quick when you were rebuttaling, and then she heard that, got petty, and rebutted back with that shit. So technically, you were bringing up the honey, baby, sweetheart shit first. You're an adult. So if you think you're going to catch any type of grace because Jackie Christie's your mom and she's here, you're out of your fucking mind. And what's crazy to me is you let that little bit bother you enough to go home. Now, if there was more that happened off screen, then I stand corrected, but I can only judge what I see. And what I saw did not merit all that. I think you weren't getting your way. You didn't like the way it was going. And here's my thing. Brandi was on 10, but y'all put her on 10. And then she said that nobody got any sleep. We know how these shows work. Motherfuckers be sleep deprived and shit and start arguments and shit. Chantel, your mom's been on the show for 1,000,000 years. You've been on the show quite a few times yourself. I'm surprised you weren't. Like, you were privy to all this, so I don't understand. I don't know. Chantel, you working my nerves. I need you to find some purpose and get purposeful within that. That shit was ridiculous. Anyway, so everybody leaves. They go to the chapel where Jennifer is getting married. They're in Vegas. The other ladies are on their way in the car to this demolition park. So the other ladies get to the chapel and they're, talking shit about it, kind of clowning it, basically saying like, well, why would Jennifer, this is such a step down for Jennifer. They're also taking photos of the chapel, talking about the plants weren't dusted and all that. I mean, that's on the business. Hopefully they've made changes since this shit is aired. But I didn't like this at all. So Jackie's taking photos of them and pictures of the chapel and sending them to Chantel. Chantel is showing the girls in the van the pictures, and they're like talking shit about Jennifer getting married there and saying how she's changed and this is a step down for her. People aren't allowed to change. Jennifer Williams is in love with Christian Gold. She's in love with her husband. She loves that man. Y'all got to get over that for real. I just find it's crazy that they're going to compartmentalize her based off how she was in the past. It's not like y'all don't hang out with her every day. We know in real life that none of y'all are real friends like that, except for like Shaunie and Evelyn. And I feel like that's even limited. That seems more of a friendship of convenience in my opinion. But like Jennifer, what if so what? So she wants to get married in a Vegas chapel. Like, why is that such a problem for y'all? It's weird. So and I just didn't like that the whole point of them being invited to her whole ceremony was because they wanted positive energy and people that were truly there for them. How can you be truly supportive and there for them if you're taking photos clowning where they're getting married and sending them back to the ops? I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So in the van, Brittany Renner, she asked Evelyn, she basically asked Evelyn, do you feel bad about, what's happening with you and Jennifer? You guys were friends for so long. So at first, Evelyn's like, I don't care. But we know that you care because the way you're acting is the actions of somebody that cares, right? So she does admit that she does care a little bit, but she's saying that she doesn't lament the friendship. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think you do miss your friendship. And if you were really about that life, you would call her off camera and have a real conversation with her. But you're not because you're low vibrational and toxic. And sidebar, all the people that keep standing for Evelyn in the comments, just so you know, I'm going to drag that bitch every week. Anybody that makes colorist comments and racist comments about a black woman, I'm going to drag you to the ends of the fucking earth until you get some sort of accountability. So if you watch me and you don't like that, feel free to swipe the fuck out. Most people that defend Evelyn Lozada are uneducated, slow, toxic, and low vibrational, just like her. I said it. Don't give a fuck. Anyway, so Evelyn, you clearly miss your friendship with your homegirl. Call her. End all this bullshit. Now, all that being said, I'm still a fair person. I don't like you, Evelyn, but I'll say this. I will stand up for you on this end. If you remember when Evelyn was engaged to Chad Ochocinco, this is when her and Jennifer were still friends. Jennifer took her narrow behind on a radio station and talked shit about that friendship. I don't know if y'all remember that. That was, if you think about it, that was the actual origin story of their beef. Because Jennifer didn't go directly to her friend. So in all fairness, Jennifer, you started this shit and it's continued over the years. You brought her daughter into it. You brought a lot of shit into it. So Jennifer, it's your turn now. The reality is Evelyn and Jennifer Williams are bullies. They're girls that never left fucking high school. You've never evolved. It seems like Jennifer is slowly evolving a little bit. I don't know. But my thing is, you both have been slinging mud at each other, but Jennifer, you brought it, you started that shit initially, if you go back. So I can understand Evelyn. But then Evelyn, you come back every season and you drag somebody else and their family and their bullshit to deflect from your own shit because you never want to talk about your shit. I digress. So anyway, we're back at the chapel, and Christian's aunt, the one that's beefing with Evelyn online, her and her husband come in, and they're with they have Jennifer's dog. So they come in, they're introducing themselves to the lady, and then Jackie goes, "Wait, are you the aunt online?" And Ming kind of asked the same thing, and she's like, "Yeah." So they're like, "Oh my God." So the aunt was like, they're basically asking her, like, why are you saying all this stuff about Evelyn? She's like, I don't play about my nephew. This is my family. Da, 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 da. And she goes, I told her to pull up. I've been in LA for a week and I told her to pull up. Ma'am, I understand your dislike for Evelyn. A lot of us don't like her. But y'all ain't really going to fight. Please stop with that. Ma'am, you too old. You on AARP over here talking about pull up. Girl. Anyway, the aunt said the craziest shit, right? My cat's come on, Harriet. Harriet about to fuck it up. Come on, Harriet. Say hi. Hi. That's Harriet. Named after the great Harriet Tubman. Anyway, so the aunt's like, you come for my family, I'm going to come for you. And she goes, she's saying all this stuff about Christian. She goes, I did a little bit of research on her because Jackie tries to defend Evelyn and says, she did a little research on Christian, talking about his legal shit. And the lady's like, well, I did a little research on her. She needs to date a kind of gynecologist. Jackie's like, oh my God, I need to go over here and pray, and gets up. That shit was hilarious. Totally uncalled for though. The aunt, are you trying to be on Basketball Wives? What you trying to do? You trying to be on the Basketball Wives show? It just seems like every time she's on screen, she's auditioning. What she said about Evelyn was terrible. Like, that was just very tasteless. But fuck Evelyn. Fuck her. You poke the bear, guess what? The bitch is pawing at you now. Pawing at you. Anyway, so Christian comes in. They're getting ready for come out. He comes out, greets the ladies, and So he, in typical Gemini fashion, he addresses it. He's like, Gemini to Gemini. I didn't know Brandi was a Gemini. He's like, I got to call it out. So he basically calls her out on why his issues with her even being there, about them not being supportive. My whole thing, though, Christian, you do have legal shit. And he's very defensive because I'm assuming some of that shit, like, is legit. So Brandi is like, why are we addressing this here and now? But it's your wedding. Okay, fine. I thought she responded well because she was like, I'm her friend and I'm showing concern, but I did tell Jennifer that I'm going to stay out of it. And he was like, all right. So they cleared it up. It was cool. A little crazy that he would bring it up there, but I get it. I'm the same way. I can't be cool in a room with somebody. I can't let an elephant just hang out in the room with me. I got to address that bitch. We either going to address it, do what we got to do, keep it pushing. I don't know. So, anyway, the wedding starts. It was cute. There was like fog and shit. She comes in a pink Cadillac. There was a little person who was, dressed as Elvis. He actually married them. It was fun. It was cheeky and it was cute. Fuck it. Jennifer's happy. Good for her. And afterwards, they show him in the hotel room. This man done licked her feet, her toes on camera. You know what? Good for them. Good for them. So the ladies are back at the demolition park. I found all that to be very boring. They have a brief conversation at the end. Shaunie and Evelyn do about Jackie and Chantel, speculating the issues with Chantel and Jackie, and how Chantel has a lot of boundaries with her mom. I still think it's crazy that Chantel is married to a whole new person and her mother's never met him. That's that's a hell of a boundary to keep. I'm sure we're going to explore that more. I mean, it's only episode 5. We'll see. So we get to the end of the episode and all of the ladies are meeting up for dinner. They get to dinner. They are recapping what happened at Jennifer's wedding, talking shit, being low vibrational per usual. And Jackie talks about the aunt being there and the conversation that they had. And she brings up, she says, Evelyn, I want to be the first to tell you what she said. She tells her about the gynecologist comment. And Evelyn, rightfully so, is immediately pissed the fuck off. I would be mad too. I would. I'd be mad too. But here's where I'm like, Evelyn, you got everybody watching this shit fucked up based off of your past bullshit. So she's like, none of y'all, nobody said anything. And of course they're like, no. Brandi's like, we were kind of in shock. I mean, I was in shock watching it. Like, Jackie said the realest shit though. Jackie's like, to be honest, she goes, I understand why you're upset and I'm sorry. It's just that I felt that if I said something, it would have escalated. She's absolutely right. Let's keep it real. Christian's aunt must not be wrapped too tight to be doing and saying all that. So of course, if somebody had tried to defend that, it would have been a whole brawl. I totally agree with her. But here's my thing. Evelyn's like, y'all didn't say anything, and starts getting mad. I'm sorry. You wouldn't have said anything either. You would have sat there, kikied and cackled about it after the aunt walked away, and you would have went back and ran the bullshit back to whoever. So for her to go in her confessional, I understand how these women are. They don't owe you anything. You over here kikiing talking about other people too. You do the same shit. It's crazy because you're getting a dose of your own medicine and you can't handle it, which shows how weak you really are. The episode ends with Chantel and Brandi getting into it a little bit. And Brandi tells Chantel, you need to stay in a child's place. I thought that shit was hilarious. Low-hanging fruit, but hilarious. Shaunie being there talking about Brandi, you have a stank attitude, mentioning that. Shaunie, you've had a stank attitude from day one on this show. And I'm sorry, I'll never forgive you for siding with the racist colorist and the way you came at Tammy Roman, who's shitting on all of y'all. Anyway, this was a good episode. Next week is going to be lit because somebody woke up Brittany Renner. And I'm here for it. Anyway, happy Tuesday. Eat a taco.